The fantasy she'll never admit what women secretly crave. It's something she'll never openly admit, not in the light of day, not in words, and certainly not to her closest friends, even over a glass of wine. But deep down, almost every woman has this secret desire. It has nothing to do with candlelit dinners or compliments. It's not about romance, but about feeling taken. And by taken, I don't mean forcefully or cruelly. It's about something unspoken, something primal. It's the desire to be swept up, to be led with certainty and confidence. It's a fantasy she hides behind her eyes, the one that only comes to the surface when she feels completely safe to surrender without needing explanations or permission. This is a topic that's rarely discussed because it's considered taboo. But today we're pulling back the curtain on this deeply rooted, raw, and real female fantasy. We're diving into the psychological and emotional depths behind this desire and how you can become the man who sparks it. Most men will never understand this, but you're not most men. And to help you on your journey, I've got something special for you. A free ebook, The Female Mind Control Handbook. It reveals hidden strategies to make any woman crave you. Get it now through the link in the description or pinned comment. Now, let's dig in. The fantasy of being taken. The desire. She'll never admit. There's a secret fantasy women carry deep inside them. It's not the flowers, not the romantic dinners, and not even the steamy scenes from movies. This desire is darker, more primal, and older than most men realize. The truth is, most men will never trigger it because they're too polite, too predictable, too busy following a script they didn't even write. But you? If you can unlock this desire, she'll see you differently. She won't even be able to explain why, but her body will react before her mind does. So what's this fantasy all about? It's the fantasy of being taken completely without hesitation. Not in a forceful, cruel way, but with certainty. It's not about violence or fear, it's about confidence. It's when a man knows what he wants, doesn't ask for permission, and leads without overthinking. It's that one moment where she's no longer in control, but paradoxically, she feels safer than ever. His energy says, "You're mine," and her body says, "Finally." Let that sink in for a second. She doesn't want to make all the decisions. She doesn't want to teach you how to touch her soul. She wants to surrender, but only to a man who can handle that responsibility. Here's the uncomfortable truth. She'll never say this out loud. She's been conditioned not to. She's afraid it might make her seem weak, especially with all the pressure the modern world places on women to always be in control, always empowered. But deep inside where this fantasy lives, she wants to feel your control, without you ever raising your voice. She wants to feel your presence before you even speak. She wants your hands to know exactly where to go, to understand her needs without having to explain them. She wants your energy to say, "I see you," before you even touch her. This is a fantasy that most men never tap into because it requires something rare, silent dominance, the kind of dominance that doesn't flex, doesn't brag, doesn't beg. So, how do you trigger this fantasy? You don't need to be bigger, wealthier, or have the perfect line. You don't need to chase her. You need to understand polarity. The masculine leads, the feminine responds, not because she's lesser, but because that's the natural dynamic. She's been leading all day at work, online, in social circles. When it comes to you, she wants to melt, but you have to give her a reason to, a story to illustrate. Let me tell you a story. There was a man, a quiet one. He didn't talk much or smile often, but when he entered a room, women noticed. Not because he was loud or commanding attention, but because he carried a stillness. It was the kind of stillness that said, "I know who I am and I know what I want." One night he sat across from a woman, a friend of a friend. She was used to attention, to men trying too hard, leaning in, chasing her. But this man didn't chase. He didn't need to. He just watched, listened, and paused before responding to her, like he was fully absorbing her words before he answered. He wasn't just listening to her words, he was absorbing them, letting them sink in. And then at the perfect moment, he leaned in and said one simple line. "You talk like you want to be interrupted." She froze, not because she was offended, but because, in that instant, someone finally saw through her act. No need for more words, no grand gestures. She leaned in closer, her voice softened, and her body subtly shifted toward him. Without even realizing, her knees brushed against his. That night, she didn't want a date. She didn't want sweet talk or permission. She wanted something deeper, to feel something she couldn't control.
And with him, she did. That's the fantasy. To be undone by a man who knows exactly what he's doing. How to trigger it instantly, without being creepy. Let's break it down, without all the gimmicks and fake moves. Here's how you can trigger her deepest fantasy. 1. Eye contact that holds, not chases. Most men break eye contact too quickly or stare too long, trying too hard to prove confidence. You hold it. Calm, unapologetic, like you've already seen her for who she truly is. 2. Slow down your speech. Speak slower than you think you should. Use pauses. Silence is powerful when you use it with intention. Let her imagination take over. It'll do more for her than any words could. 3. Touch that leads, then withdraws. A gentle touch, then nothing. A moment of closeness, then space. This creates tension, and tension builds desire faster than any compliment ever could. 4. Be still. Presence is magnetic. Most men can't sit still. They're constantly checking their phone, adjusting their clothes, looking away. But you're grounded, solid, unmoved. 5. Speak words that cut past her persona. She'll show up with a mask, a script she's perfected. She might tease, test you, or play games. But when you speak something real, something that hits her core, she feels it. Not a pickup line, something truthful. Like, you hide behind being in control. I wonder who you are when you're not. That line, it's gasoline. She might laugh, she might deny it, but deep down, she'll remember. Because secretly, she's been waiting for a man who can pull that fantasy out of her without ever having to name it. What happens when you trigger her fantasy? Once you unlock this fantasy, she'll start chasing you, not out of desperation, but because she wants to feel that rush again. That moment when her body said yes before her mind even caught up. That's rare. In fact, most women will go through their entire lives without ever experiencing it. So when you're the one who gives her that feeling, she won't forget you. She won't try to figure you out. She'll just feel drawn to you, haunted, hooked. And here's the kicker. You don't have to change who you are. Just become more of it. Less talk, more presence. Less seeking, more seeing. Less proving, more knowing. That's how you enter her deepest fantasy without ever having to ask for an invitation. Her deepest, untold fantasy. Deep inside, every woman has that one secret scene, the one she's never said out loud, the one she hides beneath humor, ambition, and independence. But when you awaken it, she'll stop pretending. She'll stop performing. She'll melt into you like she's finally home, and she'll never know why. Now, you've walked through a secret corridor inside the female mind, a place most men never even know exists. If you were paying attention, you didn't just hear her fantasy, you felt it. It's not about being louder. It's not about being prettier. It's not about being perfect. It's about presence, stillness, control without words, power without noise. Most men will spend their lives chasing women with words. But you're about to be the man she follows in silence, because you touch something deeper than her skin. Want to go deeper? If this opened your eyes, imagine what else you've never been told. The next step? Join the members only room, where we go beyond the surface. Uncensored psychology, deeper truths, and tools to trigger attraction so deep she won't know why she's obsessed. And as a gift, I'll send you a free ebook breaking down the secret behaviors of high desire women and how to awaken that hidden fantasy. Link below. But remember, this knowledge isn't for everyone. It's for the few who can handle it. And now you know why she couldn't stop thinking about you. Not anymore. See you inside.